Week 7 NFL predictions. Every pick for every game. Here we go.
Let's go ahead and start with tonight's game, of course, with the Jags at the Saints. I'm going to go and take the Jags. Look, to me, they're a better football team, top to bottom, right? Even if Trevor Lawrence is dinged up, I think, and if you look at pass rush, offensive line play, which is shaky on both sides, but that's a coin flip there. I would take the Jags.
Yeah.
Run game, I would take the Jags. Kamara's not fully back yet, right? He's still kind of getting his legs under him.
I'm not a huge fan of the Saints right now.
Yeah, there's just not a lot there. There's not a lot of juice, and I think the Jags are still undervalued at this point. I think Trevor Lawrence is playing at a top 5 level right now. So yeah, the Jags over the Saints for me.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even think too much needs to be said on this game. I mean, you look, there's an imbalance of talent. I think Doug Peterson is definitely a better coach. So, I mean, like, you look around.
100%. So 100%. Won a Super Bowl. Dennis Allen doesn't have a winning record.
You check all the boxes, and the Jags have every box checked that you're looking for. So, yeah, right. I'm going to go Jags.
Falcons at the Buccaneers. I thought about it. I can't do it. I can't. I made a rule. I can't just go back on it one segment later.
Yeah.
I got to go with the Bucs. And at this point, there's an argument to be made that the Falcons are a better team. I think they do more things well.
But it's Atlanta. Like, you can't trust them.
Right. That's what I think. They run the ball better. I think they get a more consistent pass rush. I like their DBs better. I like their coach better. But I still can't take them. They're Atlanta. And believe it or not, Baker Mayfield is head and shoulders the best quarterback in this football game, and that's usually who wins games. I'll take the Bucs at home too.
I'm taking the Bucs. The thing with Atlanta that I've noticed is even when they get that lead, they just tend to
never
sit
safe.
back. Well, they sit back on their heels, it seems like, and they stop that attacking, and then they always end up giving it up and blowing a lead. So, yeah, I'm taking Tampa Bay. And just a quick side note while we're on it, those creamsicle jerseys were freaking awesome.
They were sweet. Yeah, they were sweet. Too bad they lost. But
yeah.
Lions at the Ravens. Another one where I considered taking the Lions. Goff outside, though, has not been quite as good, right? Goff in inclement weather hasn't been very good. I don't know what it's going to be in Baltimore, but it's on the lake and it's now October, right? Like
Baltimore's on the ocean.
Or ocean, I guess. Yeah, the bay. It's not that far. To me, that could be a wet, windy game. I'll take the Ravens, who run the ball a little bit better in the trenches. So on the road, Detroit's good. This is a really tough spot for them, I think, at least. And the Ravens coming off playing a pretty good game. Now the numbers say that coming back from London, you usually don't play as well the next week, but I think they play well. They have a good culture. I'll take the Ravens at home.
Yeah, whenever you're going to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, it's never going to be an easy week. I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter what team. And when it's the Lions, you still have some concerns. They're sure they're getting better, but they're not at the point right now where they go into Baltimore and win in the middle of October.
I would tend to agree, but we'll see. Raiders at the Bears. I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know who's starting for the Bears. If it's Bagent or Tyler Bagent or Bigent, I don't know. They're backup. He's not very good. Again, Justin Fields isn't either, but he's slightly better.
I was going to say, even if Justin Fields was starting, I still wouldn't take the Bears.
I don't know. I also don't know who's starting for the Raiders, but also I don't view the Raiders as a quarterback-dependent team, right? Just get the ball to Devontae Adams, let him work, hand the ball off to Jacobs. Their defense has been somewhat better in terms of pass rush.
I agree.
I'll take the Raiders, not super confidently, but I'm going to take them. That's probably the worst game of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going Vegas as well.
Commanders at the Giants. That's giving them a run for their money for the worst game of the weekend. I'm going to take the Commanders, and it's...
We have one more in here that sucks, too.
Yeah, I'll take the Commanders slightly. Who's good for the Giants? Like, who on the Giants? And the Commanders aren't even a good football team, but it's a pretty good roster. Who on the Giants is starting for the Commanders? The left tackle, Andrew Thomas. Saquon, probably.
Saquon for sure.
Maybe Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah,
who else? I mean, who else is starting?
Then you have to look at no, because I'd take
like guard, center, guard are not good. Oh yeah, 100%, yeah,
100% more than Daniel Jones.
If you include contract, absolutely. And Daniel Jones is banged up.
There's nothing to like about the Giants right now.
Bills at the Patriots. The Bills by a landslide. The Patriots can't score points. They can't score points whatsoever. Bills by 1 million.
Yeah, I like the Bills. A little worried about their offense, though. You know what I mean?
Nah, they'll be fine. The bounce back week.
All right, big bounce back week.
Browns at the Colts. Browns are a better. I mean, look. I like Gardner Minshew. I've been known as a Gardner Minshew supporter. But you think Gardner's beating that defense?
No.
I mean, let's be real here. Gardner is serviceable, very serviceable backup. He's not winning those games.
Arguably, the best offense in the league couldn't beat that defense this week.
No, yeah, that's a historic defense. The Colts are good. They're not special, and Gardner's not special. And I think you need to be borderline special on one side of the ball to beat the Browns, and they're not on either side. So
no.
Cardinals at the Seahawks. I'll take the Seahawks. I think there's an argument that they outplayed Cincinnati in that game and then lost. They didn't execute in the red zone. Geno had that pick in the red zone. Yeah. A couple things fall their way. I think that could be a 10-point swing going towards Seattle. Like, I think there's an argument that they outplayed Joe Burrow and the Bengals. And so I think they're a much better team than Arizona. I don't really know what Josh Dobbs is. I think there's a defined ceiling.
Yeah, I see that.
His floor can get pretty low as well. He can run a little bit. He's got some movement, but in terms of consistent pocket throwing, it's not there. And against those DBs, you're going to need to pick them apart, and I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
I can just see the Cardinals right now just falling back down to what we thought they were going to be, right? They surprised expectations a little bit in the early season, beat Dallas. Now it's time for them to start racking up losses as the season goes on. Teams get into their midseason form, and they just aren't moving forward whatsoever.
Yeah.
So,
Steelers traveling to LA to play the Rams. It'll be a 50-50 split on fans. You could argue maybe even more Steeler fans. So the road thing doesn't bother me much.
Also, our first split of the week.
I'm going to go and take the Rams. Pittsburgh does not defend the run well. If you can get those pass rushers kind of on their heels, that's kind of the way to beat Pittsburgh is run the football, ball control, get those edge rushers. Because if you drop back 40 times, you're screwed. Right? Highsmith and T.J. Watt are going to get after you. If you can run the ball, which with Cam Hayward out, you can through the middle of this defense, and that's McVay's MO. I'll take the Rams to run the ball, win kind of an ugly one, a little 2016 type game.
It's going to be close. I don't feel great about it, but I'm going to take the Steelers. I think they had the bye. They had time to sit and prepare and rest and hopefully figure out something on offense that's, I don't want to hang my hat on being any sort of good, but hopefully it is. And we've seen what happens to the Rams when they play good defenses. It doesn't look great, and I would say Pittsburgh has a really good defense.
Oh, yeah.
Joey Porter Jr. is starting to come into his own. We have a crazy pass rush.
He needs to start.
Yeah, he does. I don't know why they're not using him almost.
And Broderick Jones going back to the bench, he needs to start too.
Yeah. Don't give me Dan Moore. I know what Dan Moore is.
No, Dan Moore's not good. No. I knew what Dan Moore is.
Yeah.
He's not good. Dan Moore's bad. All right, Chargers at the Chiefs. We're both going to go take the Chiefs to win at Arrowhead.
Yeah. You mentioned if it was in LA, you'd think about the Chargers.
Yeah, because LA plays the Chiefs really well. Like the last couple of years, they've been right there. I think they split with them last year. So, but I just don't think in Arrowhead that's a game that's winnable, especially coming off an emotional loss like that.
Fair.
And the Chiefs kind of, they know that they underwhelmed. Like a good team that wins ugly, that's the easiest week of coaching and practice. Like, hey guys, we won, so morale's still up. But we know we have so much we need to fix. And you're hungry to fix it. You're almost more driven to fix it knowing that you still won. So you're not playing behind the eight ball. You still are top of the standings, but you can still get better. That's the easiest way to coach. I think they come out with their hair on fire, and that's just a tough spot for the Chargers.
Yeah, it is. I never take
with significantly less rest.
Yeah,
because the Chiefs played on Thursday, the Chargers played on Monday.
Yeah,
that's a difference.
A little mismatch.
That's a lot. Packers at the Broncos. I mean, this is a pick'em game. It's the Packers are favored by a point.
I'm taking the Packers.
You're gonna take the Packers. I'm gonna go take the Broncos. If I die on the hill of Hall of Fame coach and Russell Wilson, I could die on that hill. I'm fine with that hill. That's a good hill to die on. If I die on the banged up offensive line and the Jordan Love experiment hill, I'll kick myself for it. You have the luxury; you can kind of play around with picks a little bit.
Yeah,
I think that's what kind of this week kind of is for you. One of those where if it goes well, you really cement yourself in first.
Yeah.
It's more of a risky week for you because I can't die on the Jordan Love experiment hill. I could die on Russell Wilson. 12 touchdowns, 4 picks season so far. That's a good showing so far from him. And the Sean Payton hill. Can't die on the banged up offensive line Jordan Love hill.
Fair
Can't
enough.
do it.
I am rolling the dice this week, but at the end of the day, I don't like Russell Wilson and the Broncos. We've talked about it a lot, and I've explained myself many times.
I worry about the defense being able to stop the run if Aaron Jones is healthy. That's my concern.
I just don't think Russell Wilson has not impressed me whatsoever in Denver at any point.
Well, I'm not saying he impresses me, but he's been playing better this year.
We'll see. I like the Packers.
All right, another one that we were split on that I think, for me, this feels like free money. Dolphins at the Eagles. Again, I do worry. I'll take the Eagles, by the way. I do worry because they don't have a great pass defense. Their corners are pretty weak, and, of course, we know what the Dolphins can do.
Yeah.
But, okay, does Tua not kind of feel like a left-handed Kirk Cousins to me? Like, is it...
He gives off that vibe.
Yeah, like,
but he has way more weapons.
What do they do against a really good defense on the road against Buffalo? Lay an egg, lose by 28. Like, it just... Prime time, he just feels like a lefty Kirk Cousins. Like, I just feel prime time, good pass rush, fans bearing down on you. Like, that just does not feel like a spot for lefty Kirk Cousins to thrive in.
I don't know.
I'll take the Eagles pass rush to get home and kind of make Tua uncomfortable in prime time. I'll take the Eagles by a touchdown.
Now, here's the thing. The Dolphins just have so many weapons and so many guys that can get open. Yeah. It's really hard to defend that. And especially they have early window throws and late stuff that you can get down the field with Tyreek. So, like...
I don't think you're crazy.
I like the offense in Miami a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going Miami.
All right, last one here. We are not split on this one, and this is actual primetime Kirk Cousins. The Niners going to Minnesota. Look, good teams that get humiliated like that show out the next week. To me, this could be a bloodbath. Let's throw out a score. I'm going to go 31-13. Like, I think this could be a bloodbath. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could see it.
You're going to take the Niners as well? Give me a score prediction.
I'm taking the Niners. It's Kirk Cousins in prime time, so you can expect around 3 interceptions. You know what? Give me the Niners. I'm going to go 35-15.
35-15. Yeah, interesting 15, but I like it.
It's going to be weird.
All right, fair enough.
I see them getting a safety.
Ooh, stunning.
But that's about it. That's about all they're going to do.
All right, well, that's all we got for predictions. Let's run back through the splits. You got the Rams, or I'm sorry, I got the Rams. You got the Steelers. I'll take the Broncos. You got the Packers. And on Sunday Night Football, I'll take the home Philadelphia Eagles to avenge that loss.
That sounds great to me.
And then Miami. You got Miami. Yeah.
Another good week of picks coming up here.
Bets on a budget.
Yeah, it's time to get to